Welcome to OState Daily. Casey Porter here, joined by Chase Whiska. Chase, can I get you to move to your left just a touch there, bud?
There we go.
A little bit more. That'd be good. We're doing some a little bit more than that. There you go. Doing a little bit on the air here, producing. But hey, what a rough day yesterday. I've got a lot of thoughts that are going on. I'm going to try to be as not negative as I possibly can be, because there are still 10 games left, and really, I mean, we need to think as fans and as just OSU people what is best for the university, and instead of just knee jerk and what makes me feel better, what actually can I do to help the university. That's what you have to do in these times, at least my opinion, Chase. But I know, as always, you're going to be unfiltered. So
yes, and that's just how it's going to be. So you can take the positive route, and I'll just let it eat.
Go ahead, dive in.
We suck, to say the least. We are horrible. We've got a JV quarterback. We have a defense that looked good against a very mediocre FCS team, and then got exposed when they played somebody that was, high caliber and somebody that's going to compete for a spot in the playoffs. If you look at the team this year compared to 2 or 3 years ago, and what it had been for the, past 10, 15 years, this is one of the worst that I've seen. So it's pretty rough. I mean, you go back to all the way to 2011, 2012. This is probably one of the worst teams that I've seen.
Well, which one would be worse? I mean, these are the Gunny said it's 4 worst losses in the last 3 or 4 years, right? I mean, It does not get it. So I I was in school during the 90s, okay? I remember the 90s very, very, very well. I don't remember the 70s. 70s weren't terrible. We won the Big 8 title in 70, tied with 76, 77, something like that. I always get those 2 years mixed up because there was one or the other. Terry Miller actually corrected me on that when I interviewed him. So I've sat through the lean times, and I am good friends with a lot of the guys that were on the teams in the early 90s because they're my age, right? We hung out together. And so I can tell you this, whenever I'd go to a game in the 90s, I would leave proud of the team. I would leave feeling like they gave everything they could. I would feel disappointed for them, not in them, that kind of thing. And so I can tell you this is an entirely different feeling. This just feels like, to me, this feels way more empty, because also in the 90s you had an excuse, a reason. We had the second worst probation penalty in the history of college football, behind the death penalty of SMU. So you're thinking, well, we had this reason why we're like this. Just give us a couple years and we'll get back to being like we were in the 80s. And that actually happened, starting with Les Miles. So this is probably the emptiest feeling that I've had probably in my lifetime, because I felt like in the 90s it wasn't our fault and that we were doing everything we could to climb out of it. I don't feel like that right now.
No, and there's no way to feel like that. I mean, I was talking to some guys yesterday, and it does suck that we lost our starting quarterback in the first quarter, the first game. However, he's not going to prevent them from scoring 69 points. And even with Haas Haney, we're not scoring 69 points. So all that to be said, you kind of have to play the hand you're dealt with. But at the same time, that was ugly, to the point to where I fell asleep watching it, and once I woke up, I didn't care to keep watching it.
Why would you? I mean, why?
It was that bad.
I will go to the games because this program needs support. I will be in the stands whenever the TV pans. We need to look like we support our program. I will be there because of that factor. But that doesn't mean I'm going to sit there and watch it on TV when it's 69-3.
Yeah, no, and when it got to that point, I was done. 2 interceptions when things didn't even matter, and I don't know. I think that if the quarterback race was truly that close in fall camp, then yikes. I mean, that's all I have to say. I'm to the point. I've watched 2 games of Zane Flores.
So what's your alternative?
There's not one.
If we're going to sit here and I get it that you're frustrated with him. What's your alternative?
There's not one.
Okay. So, I mean, that's kind of my point here.
Yeah.
So what are we frustrated at, I guess, would be my question, because he's all you got. He's doing the best he can, whether you think he's any good or not. If we don't have any alternatives, what do we do? why sit here and bash the guy would be kind of my question there.
I'm not bashing him as much as I am. How is it the fact that we have that bad of a backup quarterback? That's where my frustration's at.
Because he's never played before. You're playing a great team. Probably the offensive scheme wasn't great. The offensive line in front of him wasn't very good. Everything was totally sped up. And to be honest with you, he's had too much hype. So we've heard about Zane Flores for 3 years, how he should have been playing last year and this and that and this and that. None of that is his fault. None of that is his reason. I'm not defending his play on the field, but I will say at this point, if there was a better option, then he would be on the field right now. And Zane Flores is doing the best that he can. I'm not trying to say he's playing good, but at the same time, he's a college kid that chose Oklahoma State. And so I'm going to choose to support Zane Flores. And hey, that doesn't mean that I'm going to think that he's doing a great job or any of that, but I'm going to choose to support him and take the route of he is my quarterback. So as long as he's my quarterback, I'm going to cheer and root for the guy. Does that make sense?
I hope he does well. Obviously, I hope he does because that means team success.
Yes.
But I think just at the end of the day, I feel just as bad, if not worse, than I did last year when I was
right.
like, we don't have a quarterback. You cannot win. You cannot win in college football, period, no matter what level, if you have no quarterback.
Which we had one. He got hurt.
Right. But
I'm not hearing you complain at anybody. I'm just hearing you spew frustration about the situation we're in.
Right. And I think the other part of the frustration is the fact that we let go 3 quarterbacks.
That's because you got Haney. I said that at the time. Everybody wanted us to go get a quarterback in the transfer portal. I was against it. Go back and look at the receipts on our shows. And the reason why I was against it, because as soon as you sign another quarterback, you were going to lose Rangel and Milwaukee Smith, which is exactly what happened. So what you got is you got a 1 for 2 with Haas Haney. You get 1, so you lose Rangel and Smith, and then Haas Haney gets hurt. So you're a 0 for 2 in that trade. So I agree with you there.
Yeah, I think, and I was for getting a transfer quarterback. I thought Rangel was okay. Same thing with Milwaukee Smith. I thought both of them were good.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Okay. Nothing that's going to be super impressive, but honestly, since Spencer Sanders, you hadn't had anybody that's been super impressive. And I've ripped Spencer Sanders before, but yeah, I know that it could have been a lot worse. So I think that was just the competitive side of me coming out. But at the same time, I thought he was really good, and I thought he did get a lot of hate that was not justified. Yeah. And especially now you're looking back. Hindsight's 20/20, but boy, are we in a bad situation.
This YouTube feed is going crazy. It's disabled the chat. If you're in the chat and it's not letting you chat, I don't know why that is. I'll have to figure that out. I don't spend a whole lot of time on the OState side. So, yeah, it's a tough situation. And the comments what I'll do is I'll record this and then I'll put it out on a post on it. We're live on Facebook and X too. So we'll just go there. If you're on YouTube and it's not working for you, go over to X or Facebook and check it there. Okay, so the offense or defense, neither one of them are very good. Coach Gundy makes the statement that we try to do too much. Those are the kind of statements that blow me up. It's like you have a quarterback that's been here for 3 years. You have an NFL defensive coordinator. You've got college kids that you handpicked for your system, and you're telling me you're too complicated after you scored 3 points. And that after, okay, Chase, after we saw the most vanilla, boring game plan you could possibly think of against a UT Martin team that got their asses kicked by UTEP last night, after we saw the stripped-down, base model, vanilla game plan against UT Martin, of which we could not move the ball or run the ball, you're telling me that game plan was the solution when we couldn't even move the ball on UT Martin. So Coach Gundy comes on with his post-game and says we're actually too complicated. We tried to do too much. No, we didn't. You saw what it's like whenever we don't try to do too much. We can't even beat UT Martin in the second half, right? What in the hell are you talking about? So put in some more sophisticated offense and then also practice enough to where you can actually execute that sophisticated offense. Don't go back to running inside zone and getting 2 yards per play against an FCS team that's not even top 20 and then tell me that's the right way to go. I mean, that's the kind of shit that's pissing me off, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the offensive game plan yesterday was terrible. I mean, it was horrible. It looked like overcomplicated is, in my opinion, the complete opposite of what that was. Because it was
Absolutely.
just the same thing over and over and over again.
It's Coach Gundy lying. He's lying out of his teeth. That was not too complicated. And even if it is, that's not the problem. The problem is you can't actually put in a scheme that they can execute that actually will work. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. Here's the thing too, that I was watching the game yesterday and things started to, at least in my mind, make sense. And this is a positive. You've got running backs for different teams that you play. Trent Howland was definitely the guy yesterday.
Yeah,
he was the guy yesterday.
When
you play a team and an opponent from the SEC, from the Big Ten, that is just physically a lot more capable than you are, being bigger, faster, and stronger, Trent Howland is your guy. When you play a team in the Big 12, for example, you've got a guy such as Rodney Fields, which the Big 12 is not known for being super big and girthy. It's more for speed and things like that. That's your running back for that. So that honestly, while we're harping on negative, that was one positive that I saw yesterday that I don't think a lot of other teams in the country got, because you've got a true power back that is capable of getting 5 yards against probably maybe a little bit of a slower defense, but they're much, I mean, they can manhandle you just because of how big and strong they are. He's your back for that. He's your back for 2 to 3 yard gains. Now, when you need somebody to go out of the backfield and catch a pass, you've got Rodney Fields. We didn't see Valahi yesterday, which was kind of weird because I thought he played good the first game.
And he was your best back in the first game. It wasn't even close to my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm not even a big Sessi fan.
Right.
So that was a little odd. The only time you saw him was on kick return, I believe. So that was a little weird. And then I don't think you're using Gavin Freeman correctly. Outside of him, I still don't know anything about our receivers. And we're not going to learn anything next week about them against Tulsa either.
Tulsa got beat by New Mexico State last night, by the way.
That's bad. Well, maybe it'll be a close one. I think, the offensive line, again, dominated again.
They got dominated.
Yes, the defensive line got dominated. You don't match up with a Big Ten team, but if you're wanting to play for a national championship, if you're wanting to make the playoff or at least have a chance, or even heck, have a chance to play for a Big 12 championship, you're going to have to recruit a lot better than what we've got. You're going to have to spend more and more and more money, which I don't know if they don't want to do it. I don't know if they don't have it. I don't know what the deal is. But that was a comment that was made that honestly made Dan Lanning just want to shove it up Oklahoma State's butt even more.
If you're a coach, don't let your kids know that you have inferior talent before the game ever starts, which is exactly how that was perceived. Whether that's actually what Coach Gundy meant with those comments, what the message actually was to the national media and to Oregon and to probably his own players was, well, Oregon's bought this roster and they have way better players than we do.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a player on Oklahoma State, you're kind of going, okay, well, my coach has absolutely no confidence in us, right? I mean, that's a terrible message to send.
Yeah, well, and at the same time, when our starters were in and Oregon's third team was in, we still didn't move the ball. So whether that's true or not, which obviously it is, that they have a better roster than we do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not even close. Whether that's true or not, you can't come out and say that. But at the same time, that kind of lets you know, in my opinion, where you're at. Is you faced a third team Oregon group on defense and on offense that you couldn't do anything against. That's scary. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, and we're back to Coach Gundy coming back on the post-game talks going, I didn't think our coaches did very well. I thought they had the wrong game plan. I need to have a conversation. No, what you need to do, Mike, is you need to get the hell out of the way. You need to let Todd Grantham do his job. You need to let Doug Meacham do his job, and what you need to start doing is stop micromanaging. That's what you actually need to start doing and start letting people actually do their jobs. He has it exactly backwards. We're back to these stupid post-game press conferences where we're talking about Coach Gundy having to coach an a guy who's been a defensive coach in the NFL. Coach Gundy, okay? I know you've been a great football coach, but you do not know as much defense as Todd Grantham. What you actually need to do is get the hell out of his way and stop micromanaging. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even listen to the post-game press conferences, especially after games like that, because what is there to say? You know, what is there to say outside of, we
are very bad and we have to get a lot better. That's on my shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. That press conference, I don't know how long it was last night, but in my opinion, that press conference should have been about 2 minutes. He should have taken 2 questions and said, we are not even close to where we need to be. We're really bad. We'll get it fixed. See ya. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Because what else do you say after that? I don't know what to say on this.
Don't tell me you
now.
need to coach up your coaches again. That just where and I was, you know me, I was an assistant to the Hall of Fame coach for 18 years. We built one of the best programs in the state of Oklahoma in terms of baseball goes. We had a tremendous amount of success. Okay, so I mean that just rubs me down to the core of you're telling me that every time something goes wrong that it's my fault and you need to coach me up. You're that superior to me when this is my area. I mean that just nails on chalkboard to me.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, when we got on here, I didn't even know what the heck to say.
No, me neither.
There's just not a lot to say.
This is therapy for me because I'm just so frustrated.
Yeah.
And again, I'll be there because I will never stop going. I never have ever stopped going. I will never stop going because the team sucks or this or that. Because you need people in the stands. But man, this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm still going to turn the TV on every Saturday.
Yes.
You know, with us moving and stuff like that, you know, my life's a little different, so I can't be in Stillwater every weekend. But at the same time, I can still turn the TV on, which I will, no matter how mad it makes me to watch the game over and over again. But I mean, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I knew what the outcome. I didn't know it was going to be that bad, but I think everybody that was an Oklahoma State fan that was honest with themselves knew what the outcome was going to be. I just didn't think it was going to be that bad, which I think that's where my frustration comes from. I didn't think we were going to lose by 66 points. I thought we were going to lose by 35 points, you know, half of that, which is still really embarrassing. But, you know, I made the joke the other night with some of the guys that I was reffing with. I was like, hey, if we lose by less than 28, I'm going to be ecstatic.
Yeah,
you know, I'm going to be pumped. It's sad that it's that way, but I mean that's how it is, and that's how far away we are from being even competitive in terms of getting into the college football playoff.
Mm-hmm. No, we'll be lucky to win games in the Big 12 conference if we play like this, right? So when it comes down to it, what this is to me, this is a passion. This is a lifestyle. I grew up in Stillwater. I wasn't given a choice whether I became an Oklahoma State fan or not. It just happened because I grew up there. And so to me, for somebody like me that I can't get away from it no matter what, it's a little bit different. But for 99% of the rest of the other fans that grew up in Hobart, Oklahoma, or they live out in somewhere around Woodward and they drive every weekend and they spend $1,000 a weekend and it's a big commitment for them. For fans like that, okay, this is nothing other than entertainment. No different than going to a movie, no different than going and watching any kind of other going to maybe a concert or going to the casino or whatever. This is strictly entertainment. And so kind of where I'm baffled here, okay? Why do we play like the UT Martin? I was bored out of my mind. I mean, what is our goal, just to have people like not entertain? I mean, 10 years ago, even when we'd lose, Chase, it'd be like we leave and we go, oh, that sucked. Oh, man, and we were pissed and we were all frustrated and this and that, but we had a hell of a good time, right? Yeah. We were entertained for the time we were there. If this continues like this and it's this boring and this just pitiful a brand of football where there's no entertainment value to it at all, I mean, and I'm begging fans to continue to keep coming, but how? I mean, how are you going to get people to come to games with this product on the field?
It's going to be really hard too, because like you said, it's entertainment.
Then what? When you don't have your stadium full, then what? I mean,
you're cooked. I mean,
yeah.
You're in trouble, because entertainment, at the end of the day, you do things, you purchase things, you go to things that are gonna bring you satisfaction, make you happy, have you enjoy your time, and not feel like I just handed you $400 for me to sit there and be like miserable, like this sucks. The only thing that is good about this day is the fact that it's 65 degrees and sunny. I mean,
I'd rather just hand you $400 and then do something else on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'd rather just donate than come to games.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point, like, I don't want to overreact, because we're only 2 games into the season, and heck, they could have just had the perfect storm. I don't know.
Why not? We had a full season of it last year, and we had a completely crap game against UT Martin, who again lost last night to UTEP.
Yeah.
Got beat soundly by UTEP. That game sucked. This game sucked. The last 2 FCS opponents that you've played, you've gotten beat 102-3.
Yeah.
This is not overreacting. This is what Oklahoma State is right now, and it is serious. It is serious to the point where even people like me, who have never even considered wanting Mike Gundy ever fired, ever, okay, are starting to think, damn, is this guy going to make it through the end of this year? I mean, that's literally how you start thinking right now.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends and a lot of people ask me if he's going to if I truly think he's going to make it through the year. And I've been able to give a confident answer of, oh yeah.
Me too. Yes.
Now I'm getting hesitant, because if you keep pushing product out like you did on Saturday, how do you hold on to a job? I don't know. I mean, that's like, for you, for example, it's like going into coaching. Well, we'll just use coaching as an example. That's like me showing up to practice, to a scheduled 2-hour allotted time. Hey, coach, what are we doing today? Heck, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Well, we want to play in baseball team. Well, we want to play tag. All right, go play tag. And we'll go out here on Tuesday and just get our butt whooped, and then we'll do it all over again. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but honestly, sometimes it's what it looks like, because it's it is so just so bad. And if I continue to do that over and over and over again and have the same outcome over and over and over again, I'm going to get fired.
Of course you are.
I mean, I'm going to get fired.
Even if you have the legacy that Coach Gundy has.
Yes, and I'm only making.
We are not at a point in our program. In 1995, we weren't going to leave the Big 12. We knew we were going to be a part of the Big 8. We knew we were going to be a part of the Big. The stakes weren't as high, in the sense that nowadays we don't even know what freaking conference we're going to be in 5 years. So you're literally fighting. I mean, we could be in the same conference as Tulsa in 5 years, right? And then Tulsa, being a private school, might have an advantage with all that kind of deal. So even in the 90s, you at least had conference security. You don't even have that right now, because if you think Arizona State and Utah and Arizona and Colorado and TCU and Baylor, if you think they're loyal to Oklahoma State, you are absolutely wrong right there. The second any of these teams have a chance to better themselves, they will. So this is like the most important period in the history of Oklahoma State football in my lifetime, because this is a period where if it continues like this, it's not if we get left behind, it's we will get left behind, because we have nothing to offer right now. Our basketball sucks. Our football sucks. Baseball has been just about the best thing you could probably. Well, wrestling's pretty good, but nobody cares about wrestling everywhere else, right? I mean, Oklahoma State fans do, but in terms of the conference realignment, nobody cares. So we can't, this isn't 1992 where you can give Pat Jones another 3 years because he's been loyal to the university and you're safe and you can continue to build. We can't do that. We're not in a position to be able to do that.
No, and to be honest with you, I think within the next 5 to 10 years, I don't think there's going to be conferences. I think there's going to be about 60 teams that break off half, SEC, Big Ten. They're going to split it regionally. There's going to be, like I said, about 60 schools, and they're going to do their own thing. I think the NCAA is going to go away in terms of college football. I think that they're going to take the 60 most competitive teams in the country, put them all together, and almost break it up like an NFL-type schedule.
And Oklahoma State should be safe in that scenario unless we keep doing this stupid shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they keep doing it, we're not going to be
serious
part of the
this
60.
is.
We're not. We're going to be a part of the 120 other guys.
That's why this is not overreacting. This is
right.
not overreacting. This is as serious as that. This could not get more serious.
It's bad. It's so bad.
I want to be loyal to Coach Gundy too. Okay, and I know there's older fans that were there in the '60s and we sucked in and all that, and they really appreciate what Coach Gundy has done. I do too. So do you, Coach. But we can't do this. We can't. It has to get better, one way or the other. Or at least we have to try something, you know? I mean, we can't just let it do that. We just can't just go down this rabbit hole, end up not in the top 60, and not put our best foot forward. We have to at least try something, right?
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's not going to get any better. In my opinion, there does need to be, and we've talked about this multiple times, I think there needs to be some sort of restriction in terms of NIL money and how much you can give and how much guys can make and things like that.
Fine.
Because here's the thing: if you want to look at it from that perspective, if you have everybody, and again, I'm not coming to defense of anybody here, but if you have everybody on an equal and level playing field, then it truly becomes again who's coached the best, who has the best schemes, who has this, and this. You can't put Oklahoma State up against Oregon and expect good things to happen. You can't. Financially speaking, you can't do it, because he is right. And when he says this, he is right that they have a ton more money than we do.
Okay, they have 6 times. He said 40-7, so that's 6 times more, right? Yeah. So make the score 18-3, right? Score 10 points and I mean, you know, make it 6 times worse, not 69-3.
Yeah,
that's my point.
I get what you're saying. I see it from different perspectives, and that's kind of the perspective that I want to take in terms of. There's a reason there's a salary cap in the NFL. There's a reason there's a salary cap in every possible professional sport. There is a cap as to how much teams can spend.
So in taking that stance, it's not going to change. What do we do as Oklahoma State fans? What do we do? What do we do as an Oklahoma State program? My point is, we can't just sit here and say, "Oh, NIL sucks." Transfer. It's here. It's not going away. This is the situation that we have to deal with as an Oklahoma State program. So I don't think you can have. I mean, yes, maybe that's true, but you can't dwell on that because it doesn't matter. That's the situation you're in. What you have to find is solutions.
Your solution is to give more money. Truly,
right. Exactly. Yes.
That's it.
Go to the games.
That's
yes.
it. If you want the team to succeed, give money, do your part, go to the game, support them, buy T-shirts. It doesn't matter.
Even if it sucks, yeah.
Yes, do something like that. Now, if you don't care, don't complain about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not buying your T-shirts, if you're not watching games at least on TV on Saturdays, helping with TV ratings, if you're not going to games, if you're not going to Stillwater to even have a meal, whatever, don't complain about it. Don't complain about it.
If you're not supporting it in whatever way, If all you're doing is complaining with zero support, are you really? Yeah, right.
I'm still going to wear an orange T-shirt on Saturday. I'm still going to watch the game.
Of course.
I'm still going to do all of those things because I want them to succeed.
But you're going to be pissed the entire time you're doing it.
Yes, and I'm allowed to complain about it because I at least paid my dues and was allowed to complain about it because I had to sit there and watch that garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I can't imagine anybody has bitched and moaned more about Oklahoma State athletics in their lifetime than I am. But at the same time, I also, in my lifetime, can't imagine anybody who's been to more OSU athletic events than I have either.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It's one of those deals to where it definitely is one or the other. But yeah, these are more therapy than anything else, just because it's just so frustrating right now. And I really thought Coach Gundy was getting it, and then I see this post game and it's like, wow, man. I mean, he's still micromanaging coaches. He still thinks he knows more about the defense than Todd Grantham. He still thinks that we need to run 3 plays instead of 13. I mean, it's just when he saw what happens against UT Martin let me ask you this. What was whenever I complained about the UT Martin game plan, what was the comment back that everybody made?
Oh, well, it was UT Martin.
Yeah, so we ran what kind of game plan?
Vanilla.
We ran a vanilla game plan, scheme. Right? Right, it's a vanilla scheme. And that did not work against UT Martin, correct?
No.
So I hear my head coach today telling me, that the solution is that we go to more of a
vanilla scheme.
That's the solution in his mind. Did you not freaking watch the UT Martin game, dude? I mean, did you not see that game, what a vanilla scheme does to this team? When you don't have the talent of the other player, of the other team, you can't play base offense and defense. Here's where I will differ. If Oklahoma State truly was going balls to the walls and had all this offense and defense in, and it was too exotic and it was too complicated to where kids couldn't play fast and execute, kudos, okay? I would rather get beat 69-3 with way too much shit in the playbook than I would to be able to get beat 52-3 because you're a freaking coward.
Yeah, I mean, halfback passes and reverses and triple reverses and all kinds of stuff.
So if you're in a wrestling match and you're losing 10-3 with 12 seconds left, what's the only chance that you have to win that match? To pin the guy, right?
Something crazy,
So try something crazy, and if you get pinned yourself, I don't give a rat's ass.
Right.
Don't just go down and lose 10-3. Of course, unless like your team can't afford you to get pinned or whatever.
Right.
There's levels to everything, but that's kind of my point. Why not? Go balls to the wall. Put in every freaking play you can think of, and if we lose at the end of the day, I don't care. At least I can see with my own eyes that we are doing everything we can to put the kids in a position to where it's fun and we can out scheme other teams, and we can get excited about it and maybe come up with something that works.
Yeah, I mean, what it looked like to me, just from the first drive, it looked like, I know we're going to lose this game. Let's not do anything crazy. That's what it looked like to me. I mean,
Pat Jones, let's kick a field goal and get up 3-0 and see if that holds.
I mean, but that's not going to hold with I don't even know.
Well, it held one play?
Do what?
Lasted one play, Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns and 3 offensive plays. Yeah. And after that happened, I looked at my wife and I was like, this is going to be a long day.
Yeah. I'm going to say this very, very clearly, okay? This was not a Brian Nardo issue. This was not Casey Dunn, who wasn't great. This was not a Casey Dunn issue. This is not a Mike Yursich issue. This is not a Sean Glennon issue. This is not a Jim Knowles issue. This is not a Glenn Spencer issue. This is 100% a Mike Gundy issue. 100%. As long as he wants to micromanage every single coach on the staff and tell them that they have to dumb everything down, this is the same crap we're going to get every year. Prove me wrong on that. Where am I wrong on that?
Can't. I mean, we're just going to have to sit through it. I mean, there's nothing.
So you're the offensive coordinator, right? You're Doug Meacham. You've coached a lot of good offenses, okay? And Mike Gundy comes in and says, we were too complicated. We need to simplify things and get down to, just a concept or two. What is your response to that? As a college football coach that has a quarterback that's not very good right now, an offensive line that's not very good, a bunch of receivers that aren't very good, and a bunch of running backs that we have no idea who the best one is. What is your response if you're Doug Meacham to that?
I'd hand him my headset and say, you do it.
Damn right I would.
I'll take the paycheck and you call the offense.
Well, I can give you an example. Coach Chappell would laugh. I hope he watches this. Coach Chappell, we were playing McAllister in the state tournament, and they hit like 3 or 4 home runs. I was calling the pitches, and he, God almighty, what are we doing? It's, Coach, so he about 3 or 4 times he comes down, and he goes, what are we doing? He starts questioning. I said, hey, here is the playbook. You start calling pitches. You ask Chappell about it someday. And so he called about 4 batters. They hit 2 home runs off. He goes, my bad, dude. It was the greatest thing. So, I mean, that's exactly. Okay, so you're telling me that I have a quarterback that's struggling right now, that you yourself said that things are moving too fast. Offensive line that's not good. Receivers that aren't good. Running back room, we don't know what we have. And your solution for me, Coach, is to reduce the amount of offense they have so as to make it more predictable for the defense to figure out what we're doing. That's your solution. That's what you want me to do, Coach. Really?
It's not going to work.
Yeah, well, I'm not putting my name on that. That's what I would say if I was Doug Meacham.
Yeah. The other thing I would ask is what was so complicated about our game or our scheme that we ran, because it was I'm not a college football coach by any means. I watch a lot of football. I love football. But if you were to sit me down and ask me, not knowing anything about both teams, which team had a better game plan, which team had a better scheme, it wasn't even close. I'd be like, I'm watching the JV something high school Patriots play against the Oregon Ducks. That's what it looked like. I mean, it truly looked like that. It looked like a high school JV team with a high school JV plan, because it was run up the middle, maybe deep pass. Run up the middle, run up the middle again. We'll take fourth down and we'll punt. That's all it was. That was the entire game, and it really reminded me a lot of last year. I mean, it's just the same thing.
Like the 2 interceptions for Zane Flores, that's like the least frustrated I am of the whole thing. Yeah. I mean, that's actually like, hey, hell, we're trying to throw the damn thing down the field. Great. I could give a rat's ass he threw 2 interceptions.
Here's the thing,
because we're going to lose the game anyways. At least we're trying to do something down the field, right?
Here's the thing that was so concerning about those 2 interceptions. Those were 3-yard passes.
Yeah, right.
Like, how do you not visually see, hey, there's a guy there? How do you not see that? How do you not try to,
one of them came from the other side or whatever.
How do you not try to tuck and run? How do you not try to at least just throw it 50 yards down the field and hope something good happens, because you're down by 66 points?
Because that's the plan. This is scripted. You do this, that, and this. I think that's a little bit of what Coach Gundy's talking about, is we had a little bit too scripted for the way Zane was supposed to play, that kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if next year they spend $6 million on 2 quarterbacks. I don't care. Do something. Do something.
You got to have a quarterback that can run the ball. So, I mean, like Zane Flores is just like Alan Bowman in this sense, and that is he's not a threat to run the ball. And even if he does pull it and the defense, say, chases the zone play, he's going to get 4 or 5 yards, right? Yeah. A good play for us can be 4. So as a defense, you take that.
It happened yesterday. Happened yesterday where he pulled the ball. He got a 2-yard gain, and there was nothing but green grass ahead of him. And I was like, oh, my gosh. I mean, it is bad.
So after last year, why did we not have like 7 quarterbacks on the roster that can all run the ball? What was the biggest issue that Mike Gundy kept saying all last year? Is that they kept rolling that half player down. They outnumbered us in the box, and because our quarterback won't pull the ball and he can't run, we were outnumbered, and therefore we can't run the ball. So here we are in week 2. You went and got 190-pound quarterback that can run, and Haas Haney, or however much he weighs, little dude. I mean, he's 6 foot, 190. He's a little dude. Yeah. You can't expect that guy, especially at the stage of his career, to go through the entire season healthy. I mean, Zach Robinson couldn't do it in 2010. That's why Brandon Weeden and Alex Cade had to play that game, right? Because Zach Robinson got knocked out by Texas Tech. So you can't expect Haas Haney, a guy who's not very big to begin with and who hasn't played college football, he's not physically as mature as he's going to be here in a couple of years. Surely your game plan can't be, well, we think he's going to make it. We're going to run offense to where he is the biggest running threat we have, and we expect him to stay healthy throughout the entire season. So my question is, after you've seen what's happened to the running game, even with an Ollie Gordon and 7th-year seniors as offensive linemen, why do we not have at least 5 quarterbacks on this squad that can run the damn ball? Why is our backup quarterback a guy that, nothing against Zane, this is a physical issue, he can't help this. Why is he your backup quarterback when he can't run the ball?
Zane Flores belongs in a Big Ten conference, maybe, to where you're under
somewhere
center.
He can get protected. Iowa, somewhere there.
Yeah, or you're under center and you hand off the ball 95% of the game, and the other 5% you throw 3-yard passes. Yeah. That's the offense he belongs in. He doesn't belong in an offense that is supposed to be a Big 12 offense, which is fast, which is explosive, which is, oh crap, if I don't keep a spy on the quarterback, they're going to gain 12 yards. That is the offense in which you have to play. And he doesn't provide that. I don't know why, like you said, I don't know why we have it. At least at a minimum, we should have 2 quarterbacks that can run and run. Run like
Haas Haney can run. Yes, absolutely.
And if you watch any football, any team that is successful, if you go to the NFL, if you go to NCAA, even if you go to high school, the most consistent thing over and over again, if you're talking about Lamar Jackson. You're talking about Josh Allen, who's not even a runner but can run. You Patrick Mahomes, who can
He's
improvise.
a threat, yeah.
Exactly. And then you go into college. You got DJ Lagway in Florida. You've got I don't know. Arch Manning he had his own package in Texas because he could run. Mm-hmm. What's his face last night? The Underwood kid from Michigan is supposed to be able to run. John Mateer for OU can run. All of the good football teams have quarterbacks that can run. Why do you have a quarterback that can't run? Ever.
Not if I can move the pocket or move around. A quarterback that actually run. That's my biggest just baffling spot here is that you have so much. So you need to be one of two things. Okay. If you're going to have a quarterback like Zane Flores, you need to be a power rushing team, right? You need to be a team that turns around, hands the ball off. You're running gap scheme. You're running power football. You're trying to get 4 yards at a time. You're trying to make it 2nd and 6, 3rd and 2. And then, like you said, you're either throwing it to the tight end, you're swinging it to the back, you're checking down, you're running some type of West Coast offense scheme. You either need to be that with a stationary quarterback that just distributes the ball to the correct people, correct? Whether it be a handoff to running back or a check down or to the tight end or whoever may be on a hitch on a 3rd and 6, something like that. You either need that, or if you're going to run a zone scheme, you can't run a zone scheme without the zone read aspect to it. Not in today's day and game. The defenses are too fast, okay? And my knowledge of football is very limited, but I can tell you that with a lot of conviction. If you want to run a zone scheme like Coach Gundy was always wanted to run, Coach Meacham's a zone guy, then you have to have a quarterback that can run zone read. That's just not a complicated situation.
No, it's not. Well, actually, it was one of the first plays of the game. They ran an RPO, and I was like, hey, I kind of like that. And then they totally, unless I just missed something, they totally negated that entire game plan after one missed throw. Like they could have RPO'd all the way down the field because an RPO is so effective because you have 3 reads. Mm-hmm. You have a hand. You have
triple
a tape.
Option football. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a handoff. You have a pull, and you have a pass.
Yes.
They cannot defend all 3 at the same time.
Right,
it's
correct.
Impossible. Do it all the way down the field. Who cares? And if they stop at one drive or one thing, who cares? Do it again, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again until you prove to yourself that it's like, okay, this isn't working. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying the first drive, okay, this doesn't work. Well, I guess we'll just hand the ball off and hope good things happen.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, and I think I've calmed down now. I've spewed all my venom and frustration and pissed offery because I just can't help it because I'm that big of a diehard fan for Oklahoma State. So sorry if you don't like me spewing it. Then there's other places I'm sure that are much more. Maybe there are. I don't know. But and I don't make any money at this anyways. I just do this because it's fun, right? We both do this because it's fun, right? So this is 100% strictly a hobby. Trust me on that deal. So I say that to say, and I know you got to get out of here. So do I. I got to do my Dodgers show here in a minute. What did Oklahoma State get out of this game? So we travel all the way to Oregon, other than maybe a paycheck, which we're going to give back next year to Oregon because they come to Oklahoma State. You have a young quarterback. You have young receivers, young backs. You have young defensive players. You got young this. Coach Gundy used that. We have a lot of inexperienced guys. He loves to use that too, which just wears my ass out. So does everybody else, right? So we have all this inexperience. Well, what did you do as a coach to further their education in terms of making them a better player today than they were yesterday? What did we do in those terms?
The only good that you got out of going to Oregon was going to Oregon and getting to see first-class facilities and getting to see Nike headquarters. That was it.
And a big atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah. Those 3 things, outside of those 3 things, you didn't get anything out of going there except probably a negative morale between just the group as a whole because it's like, hey, that's a pretty good football team. Let's see what we can do against them. Nothing. Like, they are so much better than we are. They shouldn't. I'm sorry, but I'll say it. They didn't even deserve to be on the same field.
No, they didn't.
As Oregon.
Well, there was a much bigger gap between Oklahoma State and Oregon than there was between Oklahoma State and UT Martin.
Yeah.
Try that on for size. Much bigger.
That's pretty bad. I mean, in Oregon, I don't know who they played the week before. They were talking about it.
Montana State, who, by the way, is pretty good.
Yeah. They hung in the game better with Oregon than Oklahoma State did.
Montana State, if Oklahoma State played like they did the first, like if Oklahoma State played against Montana State the way they did against UT Martin, who's in that same FCS, but not even ranked, Montana State's ranked number 2. Montana State would beat the crap out of OSU if they played like that. Now, I'm not saying OSU would play like crap against Montana State, but if they played like they did against UT Martin, Montana State would win that game.
That's so bad. It's honestly, it's comical at this point. It's comical that you're 2 years ago, you're at home beating Oklahoma and you're beating Texas and you're playing for Big 12 championships. 2 years later, you have zero chance of seeing any postseason football.
Yeah, this is rough. This is rough. I know you got to get Chase. You're on. What duty did you say you are tonight?
I'm on dinner duty.
You're on dinner duty. Okay,
Yeah.
Fantastic. So to all you wonderful Pokes fans out there, hey man, these live shows, I spew my crap. That's fine. You can sift through it. Just know that it comes from a good place in the sense that I love OSU. And I just want OSU to be the best it possibly can be. And I think if you look at the receipts, I actually do defend Gundy when it comes down to whether we have never thought that he shouldn't be the coach at Oklahoma State. It's just frustrating to watch this crap, and it's frustrating to watch his reactions and almost think that like it matters more to us than it does to him at this point, which we know that's not true, but those are the vibes that he gives off. So if I apologize, maybe I don't have to, but I apologize for having such a strong emotional tie to Oklahoma State, but I just can't help it. So, Chase, those are my final thoughts. Give us yours.
See you against Tulsa.
That's all you got?
That's
all right,
it.
brother. All right, man.